Hello everyone, my name is Benoit Kella, and what I would like to share with you today is how you can get benefit of Blue Prism Process Intelligence with your existing Blue Prism deployments. As a Blue Prism user, you already have deployed several of many processes. However, you may struggle in reporting the benefits of your automation, maybe just because it's quite hard to report concrete business metrics, or for other reasons. In your automation journey, you may also have some issues in analyzing what's wrong with your different processes. You just need to monitor your Blue Prism activity. And why not? Leverage it in managing proactive action when something unexpected happens. This is where our BPPI Digital Worker and Health Check solution can help you. Let's take a very simple example. Imagine a bank which manages some account creations. Those requests come from several channels and are managed by a simple but tedious process across several applications. Now, it's time to introduce Greg. Greg is not anymore the guy in charge of this process, in fact. Greg is instead the Blue Prism Digital Worker which automatically gets the requests from a list and manage different checks before creating or not these accounts. As you can see, Greg's opened several different applications, 3 in fact, to get the customer information, check the client eligibility, and create effectively the account in the system. All of those actions can be repeated many times per hour. Now let's jump into the Blue Prism Studio to see how the process looks like. Greg's work is divided into a Blue Prism process and several objects or VBOs. When you open the process design, we can see the process breakdown in several pages and also several VBOs called out. After launching Greg several times, we can obviously see the results of those executions by looking at the log in the Blue Prism control room. Please note, we can also see some business data which has been used by Greg when performing the process. Unfortunately, Greg was not performing at the first release. Which part of the process need to improve? How measuring the impact of a change? In other words, how could we see if there's some latency or issues during the execution? And of course, how could we monitor the Greg's activity in deep? After deploying the BPPI Digital Worker and Health Check solution, this is what the COE was about to see. On the left, we can see the process as it was really executed. On the right, this is the process design. All the session or moving dots in the animation can be seen and analyzed. Each transitions between stages can also be analyzed in details and in conjunction with business informations. Here, we can see the transition duration between 2 stages. And if we want to go deeper, we can also take a look on the breakdown by using, for example, the product, the financial products. All the Blue Prism execution can also be viewed by variations, deviations of path. Clearly here, we have too many paths and so many business or technical exceptions to manage. That is maybe where the Greg's latency issue comes from. So now let's imagine that the COE has made some changes in Greg's process. And so let's take a look on the new release and the results coming from the execution of this new release. We can typically see here that there are typically less paths available, less variations. So let's come back to the global process view now. See how it's more simple. There's less deviations, less branches. If we come back on the same transition, we can see now that this transition seems to be a little bit longer in average. So it's between 19 and 59 seconds, so looks more and longer text. But in jumping in a side-by-side comparison, we can typically see that there's a global improvement in the digital worker. And see that, for example, the global duration is clearly better and exactly the same for the average duration. Now it's time to see how we can analyze and provide some metrics to the business. So to do that, we can definitely use the interface provided by the solution. By doing that, you have on the right pane a way to create different kind of dashboards and charts. These dashboards and charts are based on different metrics. You can use your own metrics. You can create by using a no-code interface, or you can use built-in metrics, which are provided with the solution. See how it's really easy to navigate through these different charts. There's also some dependency on the charts. So if you click, for example, in a day, you can see all of the dependent chart refreshed automatically. Now, we can also create some business metrics. Remember, the digital worker, Greg, is typically managing some business information like products, investment amount, and all of that kind of stuff. All of this information can be aggregated into different charts in this dashboard. And this is exactly what we are currently doing by focusing, for example, on a product, or focusing on the savings per customer, or taking a look, for example, of the number of completed proposal or rejected proposal. Analyzing digital worker execution is great. Reporting business number is awesome. But now, how can we move forward by, for example, doing some proactive tasks? Let's take another example. For example, imagine we would like to be alert when there's an exception which occurs in the process. So to do that, we use the query to select, in fact, all of the sessions in which I've got an exception. Now the query has been created, I just have to create an alert. And in this alert, I'm going to select the query I just created. I can select all the sessions with an exception. I can send an SMS when I've got this exception, or get an email from it, or why not launching a digital worker, another digital worker, to do some proactive task, and for example, to change the priority of a request. So let's save the alert now, and let's see the result. Here, as you can see, on the top right, there was 3 technical issues, and this is exactly the result I get. So now I can see in detail this session in which I've got an alert. And each dot is another stage. During this workshop, you have discovered our BPPI Digital Worker Health Check solution. And you have seen how to use it in 3 different manners. But there's clearly a lot more usage with this solution. So if you want to figure out how to use this solution with your context, just contact us. Thank you very much.